that came to my mind. So I do remember that I had even thought before really doing toilets. I had thought about agarbattis. I had thought about condoms. I had thought about I think multiple things like that, which I believe that every day these are products are going to be required in a country like India of a billion people. Yeah, totally consumer oriented, and then everybody would buy it every day. So agarbatti was one area. And I didn't really know the market at all until I went to Bangalore to that place where they sell agarbatti, and I said, "Boss, I can't sell over here because
it's a different market altogether.
Basically,
it is unorganized."
Yeah. So I said, and then when I really stumbled across the idea of sanitation and toilets, really, if you think about it, if you just shut your eyes and you're sitting on the potty itself, that's where you think the most because you're not disturbed by anyone. But you never think about the potty itself, and somehow I saw the potty under me, and I realized that this is a great opportunity, and why everybody so, and there is a country like India where, see, there are two things. One is that you can keep complaining about something. They say, "Arey, toilets nahi hai, there's no toilets, there's no this, there's no cleanliness." That's one part. You keep complaining. And the second part is, if you see it, do something about it. My role was very clear that I have to do something about this because nobody is doing anything about it, and that itself was the opportunity. So my opportunity that I saw was very much glaring, very much in your face. Just for some reason, and one of the big reasons being glamour, people were not getting into sanitation.
Yeah.
I think one of the big areas, and so don't think about things like glamour and from the beginning when you start your businesses. Look at the top side. Look at what's the benefit that you are going to get from it. And I think that is the most important thing that one needs to look at, is that how can I convert my idea into a reality, into converting it into a profitable business, and not just think about a plan and then I'll think about it and then see, so that's very crucial. The second thing is that I would recommend to everyone that if you have a business idea, if you have a concept, like I said a little earlier, that the most important thing is that don't have a plan B.
Work on A.
People will keep saying that, "Arey, what if this doesn't work?" Why be negative? Why have this? If you from the beginning start thinking that ye chala nahi to main wo karunga, and I've seen this predominantly in many of the entrepreneurs that
you should also teach that.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's very common that a lot of people, they want to do 2-3 things at the same time. So when I go and speak to let's say a budding entrepreneur, let's say a guy who's he's doing his he's a small lathe machine and he's making small things in the lathe machine, and then he says, "Sahab, मी एक अजून नवीन आयडिया काहीतरी करतोय." काय करतोय? मी जरा जमिनीचा बाजार पण बघतो. पण झालं म्हणजे जमिनीचा बाजार आणि lathe machine. So focus is not it. What is important is focus. So you have to have just one plan, work on it, and not have a plan B. That's my personal opinion. Is that my submission is, don't have a plan B. You have a plan A, work on plan A, and make it successful.
Rajeev, I'm from the United States, a 25-year garbage man, so I feel your pain. But one little bit of encouragement, if you may have noticed in the United States that the Italians own the trash industry on the eastern half of the country, and the Dutch own it on the west side, and the Jews are really heavy in the scrap industry. And they're multimillionaires and billionaires now. But 100 years ago, nobody wanted to touch the trash, nobody wanted to touch the scrap paper, and these were the only immigrants coming over, and they were the ones that did the dirty job because that's where the need was, and of course they've become very wealthy. My question is, what is the average cost for, what is a typical service that a customer would use? They have a toilet, it's serviced once a week or whatever, and what's the average cost in rupees?
Okay, so
for that?
Which part of the United States do you come from?
Detroit.
Okay, so if you rightly said that the Midwest, the Midwest of the US is typically divided between the Italians and and the West with the Dutch, and in India it's the same. It's not
different in India. So just to give you a very quick answer to your question, but just to give a background. If you go to let's say a rural area outside Pune, let's say Waguli or Lonikan, which is about 40 kilometers from here. In Lonikan, the sarpanch or the village head, is itself the guy who owns the sewage trucks. So all the septic work there is done by that guy. So the trend is that yes, these people 10 years ago were sleeping. My trucks used to go all over town. Now suddenly they have this mafia to deal with. But we haven't deterred from that. In fact, we made him a partner in the whole deal. And we say, okay, look, whatever toilets that we provide that side of town, to this level of cleaning, if you can do it, I want you to clean them. So we give him a task which is pretty much difficult for him to do. And if he can't do it, he says, okay, you know what, just come here and do it yourself. So we kind of learned from that exercise. And I know about the whole mafia thing that happens in the US. But the cost of a toilet and with the cleaning and everything is little less than 5,000 rupees a month only, with a service that is 3 times a week. So you have a truck coming to the US, it's normally once a week because you don't use water for washing your ablutions, you use toilet paper. And in India we use water so that the tank tends to get filled up a lot faster. So that's what we modified in India, for example. So the typical model, which is a 1 week route optimization model, is a 3 times a week route optimization model.
Awesome. If I could ask one quick follow-up, you mentioned that you don't call your main office the headquarters, but you call it support services. It sounds like there's a little more into that. Why did you choose that?
So, when we earlier used to call it corporate office and headquarters and all that, until we hired a guy called Kevin Melifont, who was an American guy who came from Denver, and he worked for the largest sanitation services company in the US called United Site Services. And when he came in here, he said, look, your guys have to feel that you're not the kings and the princes sitting up here. You need to connect with your people, create this model of a P&L locally, and make yourselves available to them for changes and for improvement. So stop calling yourself headquarters and start calling yourself support services, and be supported towards these people. So that's when we stopped calling ourselves headquarters or corporate office and changed ourselves to calling support services. And we actually support our and in the reality, our entire team at headquarters now doesn't think that they're catch whiskers and that the main business is coming from there. We're only supporting them to ensure that work's getting done.
Your story is quite impressive. I just want to ask you one question that you shared about your experience from Pune to Bombay, having burger and all that. And, say whether it's Domino's or McDonald's. Now, when people are throwing the trash on the highways, so why is it that the companies, it's accepted that Indian people have this habit, which need to be changed. There's no doubt about that. But then why is not the companies also think beyond the value chain, that they sell just after the sale, the value chain gets over?
That's something you have to ask McDonald's. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because I know
Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is not impacting the corporations?
Of course it is. Of course it is. But you can't control the habits of people. See, this is something which is habitual.
Yeah, but those are the customers. Customers are king, as you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
see, why the companies are not thinking how they can dispose it of?
No, I mean, look, if you throw it in a McDonald's trash can, they'll take care of it. But you're not throwing it in a McDonald's trash can. You're driving 5 kilometers on the expressway, opening your window and chucking it out. I mean,
away from their territory.
You can't see. This is something which you have to just. It's in your nature to change. There is no. I really have no answer to give you.
No, the only answer I see is education, education, and education.
Yeah.
And there is no other. There is no other answer.
Matter of discipline.
Because probably with the new generation it will come.
I mean,
It will take generations.
Yeah, it will take generation. Sorry.
It will take a long time. But we are still hopeful.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Possible solution is you mentioned that just about at the time when the burger is finished, people tend to do that most, and there's a patch. So if a suggestion can just be put into these companies that 60 seconds before that time, have some boards or some SMSs.
If you see on the expressway, they say don't throw trash, don't do this. There's a lot of information, but how many people read it at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. when it's just dark? The guide, think about it. It's nothing to do with to provide boards or to provide the concept is my car should not stink. My car should not have that smell of the burger. It has to be outside, and that cannot change until your whole